Good morning, or good day, or afternoon. This is Ellen, Sisters 3 Farm, all things about rug hooking. And it's been a while since I had a check-in and said hi to everybody and showed you what I was doing. And so I have a few moments today. You know, we're all heading into the summer, we're outside more and doing other activities. And rug hooking with wool or whatever you're doing tends to slow down a bit. And I know mine certainly does. Maybe you hook all the time, maybe you don't. But I tend to switch to other things in the summer and slow down a little bit. But I thought I would, show you what I've been up to. I wanted to give an update on the rug. So let me pick it up and see if I can show you. It's on my frame and I've made some changes to it. So you can see here, the body is kind of empty now. What I've done is I'm working on the neck. I've done the legs and the tail. And what I do is I like to work into the largest part of my motif. When I'm doing large ones like this, and like I did the lion, what I usually do is I start with something that's simple. So I do the legs, which is easy. And then, I do the head. I work in the next size would be like the neck. And then I would start working in from those points to do the body. For me, that's the way I logically go about doing it. So that way, if I make mistakes in shading or if I don't like something, I've got it on a smaller part. So I've gotten that far so far. There are things that I did not like and I changed. So I did some reverse hooking. I took out the spots. I really just didn't like them. I will eventually fix the face a little bit here. I think it looks a little too much like it's a grin, but those are things to come. So I did do reverse hooking, and I just wanted to mention what I do when I do reverse hooking. A nice way if you want to just take out very small sections of your work without pulling out lots. Say you just want to pull out one strip of wool because maybe you got confused, like sometimes I do when you're doing values, you put the wrong one in. And we have these little things like tweezers. They look like tweezers. They're called burling irons. Don't know why they're called that, but they are called burling irons. You can certainly use tweezers, or if you want a burling iron, you can find them on different sites and rug hooking stores. So that's what they look like, really up kind of close. And they're really, really helpful. You switch, you go to your backing. This is able to pull out just one little loop at a time without destroying everything. So I think that's great. Something else I wanted to show you, which you probably all know, but those of you that are beginners, I hook everything from an 8.5 hand torn all the way down to 3s. And anything that I do from a 3 to a 6, I use this style of hook. It's got a little tiny hook there. On the end, it's a much smaller, a smaller hook, a smaller shank. This is what I use when I am hooking anything above a 6. So you can see the difference in the size of the shanks, how thick that is. It just makes a bigger hole. When you're going through the weave, it opens the weave up bigger when you have a bigger shank. Makes it much easier to pull. You don't get arm strain. It's great. So I use these two hooks. When I'm doing values, so my values, I take care of my values in a couple different ways. When I've dyed them and I have big pieces and I might just be using a little, or when I've just dyed it, I just use a big giant safety pin to hook them all together. Can you see that? A safety pin. Just a safety pin to hook them all together. after I've cut my wool, if I want to cut a bunch, I don't cut everything because I just don't really believe in cutting more than you're going to use. I have these Sally sorters, and you ignore that there. You just go from dark to light, or light to dark, whatever your preference is, right to left, left to right, and this organizes it. And if you do have to pull something out, they're very, very easy to put back in and pull out. So they just come out like that. You don't want to use it. You picked the wrong color. You're going to a different place. Just put it right back in. So those are Sally sorters. Another way that you can do it is just cut your wool. And if you just cut your wool and you do like this, you cut your wool, you take what's left, of your wool that you've cut, and you just wrap it around like this. And then you just keep it in the same color wool that you cut it from. And that works pretty well right up until the time that you've cut your last piece of fabric. And then you just kind of keep them bundled together. The last way that I know of, and that's very useful, when I'm using really large cuts, hand torn, 8s, that kind of thing, I use these thread nets. And these you can get at any fabric store, and they're traditionally used for using cone thread. You put this when you're serging, so you put this over your cone thread. The way we use it with rug hooking is you take your wool, and just string it through, and then you have another nice organizer. It all stays together. So those are some tips on how I, take care of my wool, how I hook, how I reverse hook, and that's what's going on here. I hope that you're all enjoying yourselves on your projects. Fridays are a great day for us to share, Sharing Friday, to see what we've been up to and any progress that we've made. Don't forget, if you have any questions or concerns, please post them right on the group, and we can all chime in and answer, because we're a group of people that loves helping one another and sharing our love of rug hooking. So this is Ellen, hoping that you all have happy hooking today and for the rest of the week. Bye.